Welcome back and thank you for joining me. I'm back because I was watching a YouTuber and they mentioned about down in Louisiana, that is one of the largest slave facilities there are, meaning the prison industrial complex. I call that slavery. And it actually still have chain gangs where men are chained to each other. They have to pick cotton. That's in 2017. That's been going on ever since slavery was modified, basically. And I really think that people are trying to bury their heads in the sand because they don't want to believe that, since slavery, we supposedly, move beyond this, we move past this. It's not that kind of nation anymore, even though we still have those kind of people still here with that mindset. I mean, the whole purpose of slavery was because there were a group of people who were basically parasites. They could not do anything on their own. They tried and they failed miserably. They had to get lots of other people to help them survive, to build what we have now in the world. And I think a lot of people are delusional because I myself work on a corporate plantation, and basically this place is very Christian-y, huggy feely type stuff, which I cannot stand that. I avoid it as much as possible. I do get these stares from, the majority are white women who stare at me, and I still haven't received a response about what is that thing when white women look at you like they have a problem with you and they're constantly flipping their hair and putting their hands in their hair and just shaking their hair. Nobody has been able to comment or explain to me what that means, because I really want to know what that means. It happened to me and I'm interested. So if you know, please comment below and let me know exactly what that is. Within this corporate plantation, a lot of the black people who work there, they really like being under the white people, and they think that these people are their friends. They really do. I can tell the energy and the way someone looks at people. When the black people turn their back, they look at them a certain way. So I already know what it is. I don't go to the corporate plantation for anything except the fake fiat money that we have to use now to survive. I don't go there to make friends. I don't go there to get up under anyone's ass. And I think that's something that really irritates them, because they prefer you to be a black person that, shucking jives and bojangles for them. And I'm not that person, and they can't stand it. Yeah, leave a comment if you know what that means. But back to slavery itself. I think people really think that slavery was abolished and slavery is over. It was enforced. I mean, ink on paper, that's basically a substance, which is the ink that they wrote on paper that comes from wood. They act like that paper means something. The very paper that we use to pay for our goods means absolutely nothing. It's backed by nothing. It's just ink on paper. The Constitution is ink on paper. Treaties are ink on paper. Birth certificates, laws, taxes. This is the Wild West. And people think because they see ink on paper that it's civilized and, everybody's best interest is taken into account when they see so many human rights violations going on and slavery is still going on today. 3/17/17 today. All you have to do is look at the Constitution. You don't have to read everything. Just go to the 13th Amendment. And it says, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as punishment for a crime. That's all you have to read, but it says, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. I've said this before. I've done a video on it before. The Constitution here, the 13th Amendment in the Constitution says you will be enslaved. You will have to serve in servitude. Mean you're going to become a slave. You're going to get put back in those chains and you're going to be a slave when a jury convicts you. Now, we know the majority of the people in prison now, they are black. The majority is black men. The second growing group, that's black women. So basically, you just have these white people, which we get an all-white jury. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that because many people, including me, black people, do not like to serve on jury duty. We should, but we really don't like it, and we try to avoid it as much as possible. But white people, they will show up. They will show up because they want to have a hand in harming a black person if they get that case. And then, as you can see, they will let one of their own go. They could have just killed, 15 people. They could have had bombs and guns and everything on them. They could have had, all kinds of hate speech tattooed on their skin. They could be standing there, screaming racial epithets, and they will still get off with community service. We go to jail for jaywalking, and we will get double life for that. And that's not an exaggeration. The ink on paper just lets you know that this sick ass nation's motto is, we're going to find a way to put you back in slavery. We're going to find a way to harm you and oppress you and do what we want with you. They're trying to figure out what to do with their leftover cargo. They're going to try and push as much of it in the leftover cargo, black people. They're going to try and push as much of it as they can into prisons. And then, like the rest of us, we serve on their plantations. We work to make them rich. The only reason we get paid, or there's even, maybe 14 cents going to a prisoner, is so they won't look bad to the rest of the world. How that works, I do not know. But honestly, I do, because nobody cares about black people. Like I said, we are cargo to the world. We were shipped all over the world. We mean nothing to the rest of the people in the world. Just look at this. This is an article in the New Yorker just highlighting different photos of, you would think that this was during slavery. Look, you have the police officers there. It's true. The image is telling you the truth. The police officers, they keep the slaves in line here. And this here is 2004. This is just 2004. And they look like slaves back in slavery before, they put that ink to paper to try and pretend like they ended it when they just modified it. That was the whole reason for the Jim Crow laws. The Jim Crow laws were to push us back into slavery in their modernized slavery. Innocent people are behind bars. They have the 3-strike rule, which really, see here, this is where police officers originate. They kept the slaves in line and picking cotton and, doing the work on the master's land. It's really just a sight to see, because when I first pulled this article up and I saw it, I thought they were making contrast between slavery, and they were going to show some pictures from, this time period. But this is for this time period. And whether you are a Black person that is rich or poor, the poor always get it the hardest. But being a celebrity or being rich will not make you immune to this. I mean, all you have to do is look at Isaiah Washington. He was being harassed and pulled over because the kind of car he was driving in the neighborhood. He's an actor. Dr. Dre, billionaire, almost billionaire, somewhere around there, in his own driveway. A stranger is on his property, and they put handcuffs on the owner of the property, which was Dr. Dre. We've all seen the video of how many times Chris Rock was stopped by the police. But yet everyone wants to act delusional, as if they don't understand or they don't know what type of environment they are in. We are not in a environment where we are together, where people will stand up for us. We are in a very hostile environment, and it doesn't matter if you are married outside of your race, have children outside of your race. It doesn't matter if you want to cling to this we are big one melted pot where, American or whatever you want to think, those are niggers, these are good Black people. You can think what you want in your mind. The fact that you have melanin in your skin at all means that, you are a target. And anyone could say anything at any time. How many Black men today have been accused of doing something by a white woman, and on her word, they just believe her? And like I said, whether you are rich or poor, which the poor will get it worse, but look at Chris Brown. She set him up. She was confident in this system. She was confident in this system to know that she could call the police and she could do what she want just because she was offended. Just because he said, "Get out my house." He didn't need a reason to tell her to get out. Since that was his home, he could kick out anyone he wanted to. But she knew, because she's a white woman, she can manipulate, white men, because they are at the ready to harm and terrorize. She raised them to be that way. She knows that she can, yell rape. She can, yell assault, and they're all over it. Oh, he did it. They don't need to see anything. They don't need to check if she's lying. They don't need any evidence. Okay, you're Black, so that means you did it. It's very sick and it's very twisted. And, Black people really think they are free. Black people think that they are not on plantations anymore, that there's no more slavery, that they have rights, that, laws protect us. We can manipulate certain laws to our advantage. We can, if we get a lot of media coverage and, put it out there, because they don't like to be exposed for what they are. So we can, manipulate certain situations, but not many. I mean, there's no difference now from then. I mean, men are being hung in trees. They are being hunted down, terrorized, and killed. Women are being raped, kidnapped. There are so many missing Black women. There's a lot of organ harvesting going on. There is a lot of sex trafficking going on. And that's what they are taking the women and also the children for, boys and girls, because it is outrageous and it is very disgusting. And there are a lot of Black boys who are being targeted by European males for sex. Why they go take these vacations is absolutely disgusting, and nobody cares, just as long as the money keep flowing, and there are Black people involved in it as well. They turn a blind eye. But back to slavery. Here, even a rapper here, he was not immune from the system because he's Black. Period. You're Black. They can do whatever they want. You are 3/5 of a person. You were tools here used in America, so they can, if they want to break you, if they want to use you, whatever they want to do with you, that's how they see us. They don't see us as human beings. They don't have that ability because they are not human. But this is what he said regarding, slavery.
How has being incarcerated kind of affected your opinion of the justice system and the prison industrial complex, and kind of how a lot of the times kids, especially in the inner city, are kind of funneled from school to the prisons through the way everything is set up in the systems?
It all starts with the states as, prison orientated.
Louisiana has the most locked up people, right?
Locked up people in the world, and we go to prison, we still pick cotton, and we still got the chain gang down there. That's what, the shit you saw in Life, when people chained up all down the, we pick our own food to eat. It's real in Louisiana. You gotta get 3 strikes law. You got over 600 people got life sentences, and it's not violent crime.
Yeah.
It's 3 strikes. I was in there with a guy who got a life sentence for stealing a lawnmower. Another guy got a life sentence for picking up a chain in a pawn shop that somebody dropped. Stolen property, 3rd offense, life sentence. So it's cruel.
Yeah. And how important do you think it is, for people? Because really the only way to really change this kind of stuff is through kind of politics. And I know a lot of people don't like to get involved in the messiness. It's these politicians, they all suck, to be honest, right? So you find yourself always picking the lesser of the evils. But how important do you think it is to try to lobby and get people together to kind of change these laws? Because it shouldn't be 3 strikes, you're out for any little offense that you do. It should be.
I feel like that's up to the people who got the power to do it. I might be a guy. I feel like I'm somebody who people will listen to.
Yeah.
But I'm so focused on me and my family right now. And with what I got going, I can't be the forerunner for that at this moment. Because my family first right now,
Yeah.
And that's where I had to end that, because that is always where it ends. even when he was in prison and he experienced this, slavery. He experienced slavery. And he know what people are going through, the pain, the injustice. But in the end, when she asked him the question, what can we do? Basically, he said he's not going to do anything. He is worried about his family, and he is being a individualist. He's not looking out for anybody but his family, which means he's not really going to talk about his experience. He's not really going to, put emphasis on that. He's not going to use his platform to make change or to do anything. Because I'm really 50-50 on it. I really feel like, you have experienced this. You should be really talking about it, be out there in the forefront. Black people with any type of platform or position should be helping to bring us together and try and help in any way they can. But on the other side, if he was to come out and speak against the system, and then the system decide to turn on him and to strip him down and to go after him, who's going to protect him? So that's why I am split on that. It really is offensive to me to hear him say, I'm just focused on me and my family. Oh, well, I mean, I know it's, bad and it's injustice and it's inhumane, but I'm just going to focus on me and my family. Whatever with those other niggas. But then, honestly, if somebody basically took up the cross to be a martyr, I mean, I've seen it firsthand myself. Nobody wanted to jump to the rescue of this man. I did a video on it where he was in the store. He was being followed. I stood there. I saw it. I was the person who, the white guy, he was following the black guy, cut me off to follow him. So he was following him, and he started yelling, "Stop following me. Let me shop in peace. Let me spend my money." And he called him crazy and everything. But yeah, I did a video on that. So if you wanted any details, you could take a look at that. But yeah. And all of the black people in the store pretended like they didn't hear it. They pretended like it wasn't happening, and they put their heads down like a puppy. So I do understand why a lot of people will say they don't want to get involved, because they don't have any protection. If they speak out, they don't have anywhere that they can run to help them or their family members at all, because we all are individuals and we are looking at each other like, I don't care about this nigga, even though the both of us could be put in a situation. White people do not care about us as individuals. They see us as a certain thing, as a collective in their sick and twisted minds. But we look at each other like, I'm just worried about me and my family. I'm not worried about the next Negro, until it happens to you. And then you want to come screaming and running to the collective of black people to help you. So that's why I'm a little divided on that. But yeah, they are really trying to make an effort to take us back to where we came from. They're trying to bring back Jim Crow laws. They want to bring back slavery. They want to be able to, kill us. They want us to say, yes, massa. They want us, back the way we used to. And this is not just a few. This is not a few bad apples. I get sick of hearing that bullshit, because it's not just a few bad ones. It's the same thing that they say about the police officers who are killing people, beating people. It's just a few bad apples. No. And it's not just a bad tree. The whole damn orchard is spoiled. All of them are spoiled. from the oldest white person that you know to the youngest. There has been young children walk up to a black person and say the N-word. They barely know how to talk, but they know how to say the N-word. There were teenagers, young 20-year-olds, teens, just making songs, women, white women, making songs about killing black people, putting black people in slavery. That's today. That's the young people of today. But yeah, I'll leave it right here. Let me know what you think. Have you ever experienced this? Has anyone in your family ever had an experience in prison? Do you know anyone who may have any information about what's going on in the prisons? Drop a comment, let me know, and I will see you next time.